So we just got an email from the producer or one of the producers of Terrifier 2 and 3. And they were like, hey, we got a new movie coming out called Stream. It's got like Danielle Harris and some other big names in it. I can't remember who else, but a bunch of familiar names, which isn't always a great selling point for me when they just throw in
like
these like
star power.
Like, I don't want to. They're like B movie actors, sort of like a Bill Moseley or like a Michael Madsen or whatever. Whenever I start hearing those names, that's never like, oh, that's a good thing, because they can be in there for 4 seconds, and they just hired them for the star power for like, a frame.
Yeah,
Robert Englund has fallen into that trap a lot lately. So I don't know. We'll see what the quality of the film is. But let's jump into it. The Stream trailer. Thanks for sending it to us.
Thank you.
Let's see. Press play. Why does every trailer start with that one piano key now? Yeah. You guys notice that? Like 9. Ooh, I like that scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are running
D. Wallace, Jeffrey Combs, Danielle Harris, Danielle Roebuck.
Wow.
I can assure you it will be far more.
Wasn't that the bully from Pee Wee?
Oh.
So
Felissa Rose.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
There's an old saying, curiosity killed the cat. Although it doesn't really apply.
I love Jeffery Combs.
Because your curiosity has no bearing on whether you live or you die. Just how painful it's going to be. Showtime.
Stream. Okay.
Blood on the ground means points on the board.
So obviously we saw Tony Todd in there as well. We also saw some other familiar faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look great to me. But I could be wrong, right? But yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so this is the story that they all are gathering at like a hotel to do a live stream that ends up being like a who can survive, like hide and seek or whatever, but you have people hunting you that are actually going to kill you.
Yeah, I'm assuming
that was like what I got from the trailer.
It's probably going to be one of those things where, it's the dark web and people are paying for this stream, and like the more viewers they get or more money they get, like, the more like you can get like voted off the island or something. Like, the interactive technology horror that's always got to be firmly rooted in the current technology, right? Like that's a trope right now where they're always trying to make it like everyone's live streaming and everyone uses Twitter and Instagram every 5 seconds, so we have to put that in every horror movie now.
I liked the location. The hotel looks cool, like whatever building they're in, the outside shot of it and some of the interior stuff looked cool. And I did like what Jeffrey Combs, like what we saw of him. He was pretty much the only one like talking.
Sure.
So he plays, for me, like he can play that like kind of crazy psycho guy, well. But I feel like the trailer, like, I want to know if it's going to be like, if the kills are going to be on screen, if it's going to be graphic, like, that's the kind of stuff I'd want to see from the trailer.
It being, from the producers of Terrifier 2, and exactly. He also said that, like, when he emailed me, that it was the same crew.
Okay.
That's absolutely it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if there's like super wild, awesome graphic kills and the film is like very fun, then I don't expect this movie to be, serious and like super high quality. Like, but it can just be fun, and that's enough for me to enjoy it and to recommend it.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just, when I'm watching it, I'm seeing a low budget production with a bunch of like known faces, but I didn't get anything out of the trailer that made me go, ooh.
yeah, that's why like having it be from the producer of Terrifier 2 and finding out that it's the same crew, like I want to know if the kills are going to be insane, because that
Sure.
would be a huge selling point for this. um
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, like it doesn't give us a lot to go off of, like
Sure.
this trailer, and it's a
It's a teaser,
trailer,
yeah.
of course. So once there's like a full trailer,
So I think
might get
obviously
more.
what they're trying to like sell here is they're trying to sell that it's from this producer of something that people are very excited about, and showing a bunch of familiar faces to the horror community. I think that's the job of this trailer. And in that case, like, some people get really excited about that stuff. Like,
sure.
who's in it? It only matters to me when they're utilized, right? So
Yeah.
you can have a star-studded movie that's garbage, and you can have a movie that has literally nobody in it. I mean, Terrifier 2 is that. I mean, this very franchise, you know, the people that are behind this movie, nobody knew who the hell anybody in these movies. Like, Lauren Lavera came from Terrifier 2. Now she's like a name in horror because of that movie.
Yeah.
But it's like, we got a bunch of familiar faces in here, but what are we going to do with them? I don't know yet because of the trailer. I mean, they're obviously just trying to sell the glitz and glamour. I mean, even the thumbnail here is just huge, like a shot of just a girl in like with tons of cleavage. Like, I get the audience they're going for, and I'm that audience. I just need, if this film doesn't feature insane kills on the screen and it's just like low budget schlock with silly characters and a bunch of cameos just to be like, ooh, there's Tony Todd, then I'm gonna hate it.
I mean, there, like you were saying, you know, that people get excited to see familiar faces, especially when they're like, I think people do like to support the actors that they love, which is fine. Like, I think that's a totally valid thing to do. Like, if you see a trailer for a low budget film and there's a familiar face from, you know, something that you already love, there's nothing wrong with like getting excited about it and going into the film to support it. But for us, this teaser trailer doesn't really do anything for us, because we're not those, not that we don't want to support them, but we're not the people that are drawn in purely by the star power alone.
But why do we love them?
Because of other things that
because
they've
of
been
what
in,
they've
because
done.
of their performance. But like you said, so if they're not utilizing them correctly,
right,
then it's kind of just like, it's a waste.
We love Danielle Harris because she was in Halloween 4.
Yeah.
Right. And other things for sure. But like, most of us love Halloween 4. If Danielle Harris was in a dreadful movie and she was dreadful in it, we wouldn't like her. Right.
Sure.
So like, you know, and you can go down the list. You like Tony Todd because he was in Candyman. You like, you know, Jeffrey Combs because he was in Reanimator and From Beyond and other things. So like, you're not gonna, you love them because they're in movies you love.
Yeah.
They no longer are, it doesn't matter. I can see my favorite actor or whoever in a movie I don't like. Sure. It's like, I'd rather them not be in this movie. So we'll see. I don't have anything to go off of on this. This reminds me of like movies of like the early 2000s where, or like even like The Running Man or something, where you just got a bunch of contestants being thrown up against a ton of killers, which I love The Running Man. And it's a cheesy movie. So as long as they commit to it, right? They're selling it through sex here on the teaser and violence. That's what I'm seeing here. Look, tits. Like, I'm looking at the thumbnail. I see tits on one side and Terrifier 2 on the other. So you're promising me like hot nudity and graphic gore. That's what I'm getting from that from that teaser thumbnail.
Yeah.
If I don't get either of those things,
it's false advertising.
Then I'm gonna be like, what is this? Right? Yeah. If like, because I don't expect this to have some like uber compelling story or like amazing freaking production value, and like that's just not what's gonna happen.
Doesn't, like you said, like things can be cheesy and still be fun and still be like a good entertaining watch. So
my hope is that they didn't want I know YouTube has restrictions, right? You can put red band though, and I think you can get away with more. But if they're just trying to save the surprises and the kills for the film, cool.
sure.
But I think what this trailer is lacking for me is it needs to tease more than the cast. It needed to go in and tease the kills.
Yeah.
It needed to tease the babes, or whatever they're trying to sell this film through. Like, I want to see the setup, right? So like with Saw trailers, right? Because a lot of people are going to Saw movies for the traps. They heavily focus on the tease of the traps. Watch the recent Saw X trailer, right? The whole trailer is built around, like, half of it is some of the story to figure out what it's about, but then what it really focuses on what people are there for, and what people are there for are the traps. And they show bits of every trap to make us start going, shit, I wonder how that's going to work out. And we start like filling in our minds, like imagination of what those traps are going to look like, how graphic they're going to be, because that's what we're there for. So if this film is going to be a gore-a-thon, like we hope it will be, then I feel like those kills need to be teased for me to go, oh, this is going to be one of those kinds of films. All right, I'm in. Right? Just Danielle Harris and Tony Todd and Jeffrey Combs. And for me, now this is totally different for a lot of the horror community. They're like, fucking Danielle Harris is in it, I'm watching it no matter what. I'm just not that person. Like I've watched tons of Danielle Harris movies. One recently, Maddie Knox, was horrible. I hated that movie. Right? And it had Bill Moseley, it had Danielle Harris. It's not enough for me. Right? Sure. So I'm not shitting on the trailer. I'm just saying, from my own personal perspective, I think for the official trailer, if anyone's going to listen to me, you need to, if that's the kind of movie that you're making, you need to tease the goods of what is going to draw people in, because this one is just like, hey, we got familiar faces. Okay, so the next one needs to be, and here's why you want to show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's my opinion on it. Anything else? No? Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for sending this to us.
Thank you.
Hope we didn't offend too much, but
no, we'll watch the official, like, full trailer when it comes out. So
and then I'll be eating my words,
and then we'll be like, oh, we were so wrong.
The next thumbnail should just be her without the clothes at all. Then I'd be like, all right, guys.
Bye.